really struggle to score, especially Indiana. They keep moving things around. The Hoosiers are trying out different strategies, different ways to try to attack to score goals.
So Butler gets things rolling right away. And it's going to start with a throw-in for the Hoosiers. Indiana has not scored in 2 straight matches. They've only got 4 goals on the season. 2 of them from Collins Oduro. Officials today for tonight's match. Head referee on the field, Eulogio Villalpando, Sean West, Nick Thompson, and Shane Foley around the edges. We have our early stoppage here out in field.
Something going on maybe on the sideline, it looks like.
A conversation being had from Villalpando and number 5, Josh Stewart, the defender, freshman from England. Barger throwing in for the Hoosiers, another freshman. Vilzine in that match against Wisconsin. Hoosiers had a few opportunities, especially late, but nothing to put in the back of the net, and that's why Todd Yeagley said they're missing a guy like Ryan Wittenberg.
Yeah, you look at last year, Wittenbrink had 10 goals, 6 were game winners. One of those game winners was against this very Butler team, so he was clutch. He came up in all the big moments for the Hoosiers in 2022, and this year they haven't had somebody like that.
Jack Wagner up to Sam Sarver. Sarver had a great look at a goal on a cross from Collins Oduro in the second half of Friday's match, and it just went right by his feet. Here's the keep, Caleb Norris, the 6'5" redshirt senior from Michigan. He was the Big East goalkeeper of the week.
A game like this, you want to see which team is going to try to attack first or be more aggressive without giving too much up on the defensive end.
Both teams with solid back lines. Here's McDonald. Over to the speedy freshman in Oduro. A chance for Indiana early. Oduro in the box, putting a move on Josh Stewart, and it's picked up by Norris.
Got in the box, and it was really just him and Stewart, one other defender, but Oduro tripped over his own feet and couldn't actually put a shot up.
Gumbali, the redshirt senior. Up to Brett Beebe, another 5th year. Sarver in the box around the 18. A good touch, but a block by Butler. Another opportunity from Becerra. It goes wide right.
Hoosiers trying to argue that Norris got a hand on that, but we look at the replay here, it doesn't look like he did. So it'll be a goal kick and not a corner.
So the left foot of Becerra, the sophomore, of course, brother of Victor Becerra, an all-time great Indiana Hoosier soccer player. Butler just picked up their first win of the year on Friday. It was 2-1, the score at Villanova in Philadelphia. Homer charging on Jensen Miller. And Joey Mayer just clears it out of play.
Not a bad play by the Hoosiers, but now Butler, you know they're going to be looking towards Alden. I got to talk to him a few days ago, and he talked about all that attention he's getting now, just the big difference, getting all that attention. Last year, he had Wilmer Cabrera with him to take some of that pressure off, but now he's seeing multiple bodies pretty much every time he touches the ball.
Visser's throwing in possession of the Hoosiers on a break. Oduro, a through ball to Barger, his fellow freshman. The cross in and a miss by Becerra. Indiana has been aggressive early. A few opportunities so far. It'll be a Butler throw-in.
I feel like my question that I asked just a few minutes ago has been answered. The Hoosiers have been the ones that have been the aggressors so far. I'm not sure if that's by choice for Butler or not, but right now Indiana is putting stress on the Bulldogs' back line.
Well, a lot of what Todd Yeagley said leading up to this one, Zine, is that Indiana was a bit disconnected in their past few games. They need to go to the film room and figure some things out. Some physical play from Miller, who's making his second start in a row. Elduro has been active. He kicks it out of play. It'll be a goal kick.
Well, last year's matchup between these two squads, it was a ranked one. Indiana was 15th in the nation on September 14th of 2022. Butler 20th, and it was a Butler team that was ranked as high as 12th a season ago in September, but they went 1-2-1 against ranked opponents. One of those two losses against these Hoosiers of Indiana.
This Butler team always plays a tough Big East schedule.
Sarver through ball to Gumbali. Indiana's already played Seton Hall and DePaul this season of the Big East. Gumbali, cross in, too far.
And that one was rifled through by Gumbali, just too hard and too far. That had no chance, really, of hitting any of Indiana's players in the box.
Gumbali typically plays in the middle, good with the ball at his feet. Not a primary goal scorer, although at 6'3" does give Indiana some size up front. It's a Butler team that, same as Indiana, has struggled to score the ball. Just 4 goals on the season, all at the feet of number 15, Palmer Alt, the sophomore. Right there trying to chase down Miller, the defender. Paul Snape trying to find another guy he can rely on. Elduro, a hard tackle. He goes down. Villalpando blows the whistle for the first time.
See it again, Elduro so fast. It's like the speed of light coming through, and he just gets tripped up.
It'll be the first free kick of the day for Indiana. Sarver will take it, and this is where the Hoosiers really miss Ryan Wittenberg.
He was so good on set pieces, and that's something really Indiana's program as a whole has been known for, their success on set pieces, but that's not been here for the Hoosiers this year.
5 Hoosiers standing around the 18. Joey Mayer right around that PK mark now, going back to the line. Patrick McDonald, a quick one over to Sarver. Sarver, the cross is cleared by the Bulldogs.
They tried to get a little creative there, but Butler wasn't really phased enough to find an opening.
Hemi Nasser, the 5th year from Michigan, who made 13 appearances a season ago, was the one who got a piece of it.
Man.
Reeg over there, out of play.
Bit of danger on that side on the collision.
The first 250 students of tonight's game, Zion, got a free black and red Hoosier Army t-shirt. It's been the theme so far from the student section to give out free shirts to students who come to games. Opportunity for Indiana once again. Elduro, a shot to the left. Norris would have been there anyways, but man, has the freshman from Ghana had a few opportunities early on, a big right foot.
He is putting pressure on the backside of the Bulldogs. So far they've handled it pretty well, but it is tough to really get a hold of Elduro when he gets ahead of steam.
Referee swapping out a can of spray paint. Elduro, Big Ten player to watch. Just a freshman already on the season. And Zion, this is over 10 more than any other Hoosier, 23 shots.
He's been their main option, for better or for worse, so far this year.
Indiana leads all the Big Ten teams in shots taken, but they're last in goals scored.
Indiana the back line and defensively has been solid as usual. Just 3 goals in 6 matches. That's 6th nationally. Rate of half a goal a game.
And a big part of their offensive struggles, in Coach Todd Yeagley's opinion, has been shot selection.
Here's Oduro trying to work around Stewart. A left foot, Sarver! Indiana scores!
Oduro once again just streaking up that left side. This time, instead of firing away, he sees Sarver get behind that back line of Butler, and Sarver, right place, right time. Nothing Caleb Norris could do about that play.
Not even 10 minutes in, Oduro's magical left foot finds his teammate in red. And it's Sarver's 2nd goal of the fall.
Sarver off the ball, got right behind Alejandro Moroso Mata, who just kind of fell asleep a bit. And by the time he looked up, the ball was ahead of him and heading into the net.
Well, I think you could say Todd Yeagley's prayers have been answered 10 minutes into this one, Zion. It was 2 straight scoreless matches for the Hoosiers, and finally, they're able to get one into the net.
Now you might see Butler kind of tense up and kind of go too quickly or attack too much.
Van Kispoel. Here he is again. Inside the box, Streberger watches it go by him. Beautiful day here at Bill Armstrong Stadium. Just 73 and partly cloudy, not much humidity, a nice breeze. These are the fall days you live for in the Midwest. Leaves starting to turn a brownish red.
Yeah, it is a really great day here in Bloomington. A few weeks ago in the Midwest, it was dripping in sweat. Everybody was dripping in sweat because of the heat, but now it's cooled off a bit. You know, you could take more strolls outside without worrying about heat exhaustion or anything like that. It's a good day.
Streberger trying to get one to Alt. And Indiana defensively holding strong. The aggression since the goal by Sarver in the 9th minute has slowed down a bit, but here's a through ball. Gumbali in a race to it. And a good clear.
Tommy Visser that time, going step for step with Gumbali and getting it out of the box.
Another area where Indiana misses a Hoosier from last season is throw-ins. Nick Sesak had multiple assists off throw-ins last season. And obviously Indiana, a team that made it to the College Cup final for the 2nd time in 3 years.
Yeah, you look at this Indiana team, and the way they played is interesting. Talia kind of hit on a bit of how they're kind of used to these slow starts to the season. Last year, the regular season was not great at all for the Hoosiers. It was a good regular season, not great at their level of excellence that they're used to. But then they turned it on and made it all the way to the College Cup final. So you want to believe, if you're IU, that this is something you can do again, but obviously you want to start to turn it around right about now.
And Indiana, a team that obviously could have won that College Cup final against Syracuse. It came down to PKs. I mean, let's just look at the last 5 years, the results for Indiana in their quest for 9. 3 of their losses heartbreaking in the College Cup, and obviously the one against Marshall, a golden goal, and then PKs for Syracuse in the final.
Yeah, they have come oh so close to that 9th national championship. It's now been over a decade since Bloomington saw a banner go up here at Bill Armstrong Stadium last year again in PKs, 7-6 in PKs. It was a dramatic battle against Syracuse, and the Orange came on top of that one. The Indiana team would love nothing more than to get number 9.
Alt a push on Miller, his first foul. And at the 2nd against the Bulldogs. Up front so far for Butler, it's been Alt and then Ernie Osornio, the junior from Phoenix. Here's Oduro again around the 18. This time with his right foot, Becerra. Good save. Caleb Norris sliding at his feet.
Really nice job by Norris, just tracking that ball well, able to boot it out of the box.
There's a reason why Todd Yeagley loves Collins Oduro and why he loves him on the wing, and Zion, it's that speed.
They think Oduro is going to turn into a phenomenal player. He's already pretty good right now, but talk about a year or two from now, they think he can really be something special.
Creator Indiana lost from a season ago, Herb Endley, kind of a similar player with the speed and his ability to play with the ball at his feet.
A lot of similarities between those two. We've already seen Oduro make quite the mark on this game.
5 shots for Indiana through the first 14 and 25 seconds. 0 for Butler. Against Wisconsin, Indiana only had 10 shots total.
You could tell that Indiana locker room was not happy after that Wisconsin game at all. And you could just see the way they're playing tonight. Though this Butler team has struggled this year also, you could tell Indiana does not want to mess around and does not want this game to end up in another draw.
On the pitch is the defenders for the Bulldogs. It's Vigo Vakoyan, Josh Stewart, and Graham Reeg. And a miscommunication early in the 9th minute that led to the Sarver goal. Oduro's first assist of the season as well. Butler trying to maintain possession. A big boot up ahead to Schreberger BB. Watches it go for a goal kick.
Still haven't seen that first shot for the Bulldogs today. Really no pressure has been put on Indiana's back line and JT Harms in goal.
JT Harms, the transfer keeper from Duke. Senior had the tall task of replacing Roman Celentano a season ago. Celentano was a top 5 pick in the MLS draft.
And last year, Harms really had to earn that job. But now,
right,
it is clear that he is the guy that Indiana wants back there.
He competed with Bryant Pratt for nearly a month. Pratt had an injury as well, which helped Harms get some more playing time. That should be a corner for Indiana. It will be the first of the day.
We're back in this situation with Indiana in a set piece. Their corners against Wisconsin weren't really close to even causing a threat. Let's see if they can do something with this one.
Oduro close to Sarver. Miller, Beebe, and Mayer come up. No, he puts it in the box. McDonald tries to get ahead on a rifling shot. Over the crossbar. Man, Luca Becerra has a big right leg.
He's gave it a ride, and man, it looked like a shot that at least would maybe hit the crossbar, but it just barely sailed over. So he was in a good position, kind of getting it off the ricochet.
at the 6th shot of the night so far for the Hoosiers. It was a 9th-minute goal by Sam Sarver, assisted by Collins Oduro, if you're just joining us on Big Ten Plus. And William McDermott alongside Zion Brown, Talia Goodman, field side. And Talia has a little bit of an update for us about Palmer Alt coming up soon, so stick around for that.
Alt is definitely
Offsides flag.
an interesting player and a really talented player too.
Here's Tommy Visser. Up ahead, here's Alt himself. BB there lurking, Gumbali coming to help. Cross in the box from Visser, Harms punches it out of harm's way.
He was in on that one.
No, freestyle.
That's what you do, man. It's the first time we've really seen Butler get legitimate ball control, it feels like, so far in this first half.
Yeah, that was kind of the first cross into the box we've seen for Butler. More so Matha, taking matters into his own hands.
It's been a really good job by this Indiana, both the midfield and the defenders. Butler is trying for something, but haven't got a good look.
Yeah, Stewart in the box. Mayer does a good job of clearing it with his head, and Schreberger off the rebound, trying to put one over the crossbar. Talia Goodman's got a little something on Collins Oduro for us. Talia?
Thanks, guys. I talked to Oduro's high school coach a little bit ago, Evan Pributok. And, you know, it's good timing. He might be an magic 8-ball here because he told me that Oduro is going to help score some goals for the Hoosiers, and we just saw him do some of that tonight. He said that you're not going to find a more well-rounded guy than Oduro. Academically, a 3.9 GPA, and you've all seen him on the field. He said that Oduro could be one of the top freshmen in the country this year, and as he continues to develop, one of the top players in the country. Back up to you guys.
Well, Talia, it's trending that way into the 7th match of the season for Indiana. There's a good through ball. Stewart trying to get to it. And Indiana going to be awarded a goal kick. But yeah, Oduro leads the team in shots with 23. He leads the team in goals with 2. He just picked up an assist. A guy who's going to be here to stay.
You've got to be really talented to start and take the most shots on any Indiana team. So to do that as a freshman, it shows that there's a lot of skill and even more potential at the doorstep for Collins Oduro.
More so Matha.
Once again, this Indiana team has not let Butler even find much, even though Butler has been able to control the last few minutes of possession.
Butler struggled to deal with Becerra in the middle as well. Here's Oduro again on the far side. Cross. Here's Gumbali. Working on the touchline. It's going to be a corner. Second of the day for the Hoosiers.
Corner kick for your Hoosiers to be taken by number 9, Samuel.
This has just been, we're just about halfway through it. This has been a really solid offensive half for Indiana. Had a lot of good looks. They've scored a goal. Now they get another corner.
Last corner, Becerra had a chance at it. Sarver in. There's Patrick McDonald with the neon green cleats. Couldn't get his chest on it, but Becerra does regain control for the time being. McDonald, the junior out of Greensboro. Got 3 career goals, a Big Ten player to watch. Miller got a start against the Badgers on Friday. He just booted it away. Did pick up a shot in that match. Miller transferred from Xavier a few years ago.
We've seen Jansen Miller get in these starts now. Last couple games for Hugo Bacharach, who Indiana said it's been more of a technical thing. The reason he's been out of the lineup so far in these last couple games. Conditioning has been a part of it, as Todd Yeagley talked about how he's worn out a little bit and the season's getting to him.
Yeah, 2 Mac Ehrman Trophy watch list members in this game. The other one, we've talked about him playing. And of course, Bacharach from Indiana. Not on the field right now. We may see him later. Did not play on Friday. Transferred from Fairleigh Dickinson. Duro.
Talk about Bacharach. He was Defensive Player of the Year in the NEC, so he is a talented defender, but right now, for whatever reason, he's found his way out of the starting lineup for IU, trying to get back in rhythm.
Stands at 6'4", so it does give Indiana a size advantage, him and Gumbali especially, on headers and corner kicks. Here's Alt. Swarmed by the Hoosiers. Butler only has 46 shots on the season. Indiana's doubled that with 96. 20 of Butler's 46 shots have been on frame. They've allowed 75 coming into this one, so tack on 6 the Hoosiers have today. That's 81. Butler with 1 shot today. Morso Matha, a high kick, tangled up with Miller in the air. And a whistle blown from referee Luigi Villalpando.
See it here as it just kind of gets tripped up, grabbing at that lower left foot to get the foul.
Over 25 minutes into this one, Indiana struck early. 2 subs coming in to the game. Gumbali is out. Luca Becerra is as well. It's Quentin Helmer and Tommy Mahalik in for Todd Yeagley's Hoosiers.
Helmer's got one of the 5 goals that Indiana has scored this year. Both those guys have been around for a couple years now. They have the experience, they have the trust of Todd Yeagley, even if it is in a substitution role.
Mahalik, a guy that Yeagley feels like can get going. All Big Ten freshman team as a freshman. Just 1 goal on the season thus far.
Feels like right now for Butler, the main objective should be not giving up another goal going into half. Because you don't want to, this is not a Butler team that I think can come down from a 2-0 start. So they have to make sure they don't let this get out of hand.
The approach from Indiana has been slow since the goal, but here's McDonald. Barker passing to the 18, no one there. Moroso Matha, a chance. Schreberger was shrieking in late.
Well, Caleb Norris has given up a goal tonight for the Bulldogs, but what he's done so far this season has really been phenomenal. He had just one save coming into the year.
Yeah, he had only played one game in his career coming in this year.
Right,
and he's been great so far.
So far, 6.6 saves per match. He's already got one today.
In the last 3 matches for Norris before tonight, he had saved 29 of 31 possible goals. So he's played really well, and the goal tonight really was not on him. It was a miscommunication, a breakdown on the back line that he couldn't do much about.
Yeah, Sarver kind of just pushed in late. It was reminiscent of that opportunity the Hoosiers had in the second half against Wisconsin, the one I mentioned earlier, where it just skipped past Sarver's feet, but this time he had the control to put it in the back of the net.
Butler, a team that has 8 international players. 3 from the Netherlands, 3 from England. Of course, Moroso Matha from Spain, and of course their head coach Paul Snape, who's in their 13th season, an international guy as well.
Yeah, Snape is from Liverpool in England, played for the Liverpool Academy in the youth system, so he is born and raised into really soccer culture over there, and he has taken some of those athletes and brought them over to the States to play at Butler.
Snape has 3 NCAA tournament berths in the last 7 years. Most recent for Butler was 2019.
He's done a good job with this program for sure. Won Coach of the Year in the Big East. Back in 2017, they also won the 2016 Big East tournament. So this is a Butler team that year in and year out, teams in that conference know they're going to be a threat.
Flag flies, Sarver was offsides. So Matha has kind of moved up front as of late for Butler.
Yeah, it looks like they're looking to use his speed because he does have plenty of it.
Stewart ranging in front of the Hoosier Army.
And the talented Joey Mayer just watches it go by. Joey Mayer's brother, Jack.
Really talented player in the MLS right now. Obviously a Hoosier.
A few weeks ago, Jack was part of a defense that helped hold Lionel Messi scoreless, which he hasn't done much since joining the MLS.
I remember just in the middle of the summer when he played his first game and all the celebrities were there down in Miami.
It was crazy.
LeBron and Kim Kardashian.
The worth of that Miami franchise since Messi has joined has certainly skyrocketed.
McDonald tried to get it through to Helmer. Moroso Matha, a good chance here. Mayer is there high and over the crossbar. Miller, hands up in the air, was confused defensively.
Yeah, Butler kind of
There's the speed you're talking about.
looked like they kind of crisscrossed, so to speak, Mata and I think that was Hemi Nasser, who they kind of just switched around, kind of put them in an X, and Indiana didn't know how to guard it in. It was a tough angle, but Moroso Mata did give it a ride and couldn't get it down.
That's just Matha's 3rd shot of the season, 2nd of the day for the Bulldogs.
Jan Quispool was the one who gave him the great ball. Haven't said Palmer Alt's name too much.
I think that's by design from the Hoosiers.
And Indiana has Mayer covering him closely. McDonald over to Oduro. BB. Barger, the freshman. Indiana trying to get something going and find something in the box here. Sarver to Mahalik. Trying to find the left foot, a ricochet. And Norris corrals it.
Still another pretty solid look for Indiana, despite the deflection and the really easy opportunity for Norris right in his lap. It was still a good attack and a good ball movement to even get to that point.
Yeah, first time we've said Mahalik's name since he subbed in. Already active early. Feels like Indiana does not want to settle with one goal. And like you said, Butler can't afford to give up another one before half. Here's Alt.
I feel like we've seen a lot of this from Butler, just dribbling around the circle but not really being able to attack as much as they'd like to.
Sarver a breakaway. 1-on-2 now. Mahalik, though, trailing. And he gets pushed from behind. Going to be a free opportunity for Graham. Reed was the one who put number 9 to the ground.
This is a decent chance for Indiana. See whether they'll mark this ball, but this is going to be about 30 yards out, maybe a little further.
Right at that Big Ten logo, it's going to be Helmer, the senior from Amsterdam.
Mayer and BB in front of the line. Helmer's got a good left foot. Into the box, Mayer off the back of his head. Still floating around and finally cleared by Stewart.
Strong defense that time by Butler.
Here's Yanush. Chance Miller, though, heads it away. And a whistle blown on that contact. That was Jan Quispool.
Gets this free kick chain foul free.
5th foul on Butler. Here's another look at it. And
yeah, just contact, no card.
From head referee Eulogio Villalpando.
So just ran into Wagner. I think that's a solid call. I feel like there was enough contact to warrant a card on that play.
It was a very physical game here on Friday against the Badgers. With the dead ball here and Carson Henderlong subbing in. We'll toss it to Talia Goodman downfield side. She's got a little update for us on Palmer Alt, the star forward for Butler.
Thanks, guys. I was able to talk to Palmer Alt about his relationship with his dad. His dad, Kevin Alt, is a former Mr. Indiana basketball, and he was a 4-year starter at Missouri State. He said that although his dad doesn't know a whole lot about soccer, he's one of his biggest role models. He's taught him a lot about how to play at a high level, and although he was a little bit disappointed when he quit basketball for soccer, he's the type of dad to show up to every game with his AirPods and cheering him on silently from the stands. Back up to you guys.
Absolutely, Talia. You have to assume Kevin Alt is here today. There was a loud cheer earlier when they announced his name in the starting lineups down from right below us and to the right. Kevin Alt led that Missouri State basketball team to 3 of 4 MVC championship games and is the all-time leader in career games played for that basketball program. Was inducted to the 2012 Missouri State Athletics Hall of Fame. There's strong Indiana ties, and obviously Indiana known as a basketball state, but they play some good soccer here as well.
Yeah, and as
Or
you mentioned,
football.
yeah, Palmer, as Talia hit on, kind of had that injury right before high school and didn't return to basketball. He put everything in to soccer. It's the first combination, I believe, ever to win Mr. Basketball and Mr. Soccer in the state of Indiana as far as a father-son combination. So both very talented, and I think Kevin has fully come around now. When you see now how talented Palmer is at the college level, there's nothing you can do but support him and really wrap your arms around how great of a player he is on the pitch.
Yeah, I can't imagine being in the Big East and having to face him once a year, or even Indiana, who's faced Butler 23 of the last 24 seasons. A few whistles here blown. Another foul on Butler. Pace has slowed. Indiana scored in the 9th minute.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely have seen the Hoosiers not as aggressive, and part of that has come lately where we haven't seen Oduro really just racing up the left side as he was earlier.
Hanush gets it taken away from him. It is International Night here at Bill Armstrong Stadium, so timely for the graphic we had. Our producer and director, Emma Watson, a throw up there earlier about the international ties on this Butler program. Mahalik cleared from Morso Mazda.
Well, they're playing a very conservative defense here for the most part. They're not really trying to turn Indiana over. They're just making sure that the Hoosiers don't get behind them.
That was Alt, who got the leg of Miller. Villalpando says we're good to go. Just more hard contact. These Bulldogs playing physical right now. That's the 7th foul.
Yeah, I'd like to think Butler wants to match the intensity and just the overall physicality of this IU squad. That was something that Paul Snape talked about earlier this week. Just he knows that they don't have the same amount of resources as Indiana and other Big Ten schools, and he also mentioned the ACC, but they've got to find their way to even games like this.
Mahalik, a good ball inside. Helmer tried to get there sliding in, but just whiffed. And here's Butler the other way.
There might have been a better chance for Oduro on that play after the ball took a bounce or two, but Helmer slid in and wasn't really able to control it.
9 combined shots here in the first half. Anish thought about throwing in. Instead, it's going to be Tommy Visser.
These can be the dangerous moments of games where you're a team like Indiana, you're on top, and there's just a couple minutes to go before you get to halftime into the locker room. You can't lose focus.
Strieberger. Stewart now trying to get in between two defenders. No whistle. Rosso Mata. Ball got away from Von Quispel. Just 1:35 to play in this first 45 of action. No added time in college soccer in the NCAA. And as of last season, no overtime as well. Before then, in regular season, it was minutes of overtime and then a golden goal opportunity. If you scored in extra time, it's over.
That was a change that ruffled some feathers. Some coaches were strongly in favor of that, and others did not like it at all. Todd Yakeley
More
being
draws,
on the ladder
obviously.
of that
Yeah.
side. He's not really a fan of the removal of overtime in college soccer.
Indiana definitely saw that affect them last season. More draws than they had wins in the Big Ten, but did more than enough points-wise to finish in the top half of the conference. Barger over to BB.
Got to work a little quickly here.
One more chance for Indiana with 20 seconds to go. BB trying to wrap it around and couldn't do so. As Visser on the defense, and Indiana gonna end the half up 1-0 over the Butler Bulldogs. And Zion, it has been a very impressive first 45 for the Hoosiers. Crossroads Derby. Second half of action getting started. Two schools have met in 23 of the last 24 seasons.
The only season they didn't meet was that the spring of 2021, where it was a conference-only season coming off COVID. And, of course, that was one of the years that Indiana made it to the College Cup in, losing on that golden goal to Marshall, as we talked about earlier.
Yeah, that spring season was just a little bit strange in general. Here's Sarver, an opportunity. McDonald, no. A good sliding tackle to knock the ball away.
Vigo Vakoyan got in there and brought it away.
I'm William McDermott alongside Zion Brown. Field side is Talia Goodman. We're your crew on Big Ten Plus for tonight's match.
Hoosiers back with another one of these corners, set piece opportunity.
Yeah, their third of the day. Sarver's taken all three. Good job by Stewart to head it away. Still floating around in the box, though. And Butler just going to clear it. And live to see another day.
Smart clearance by the Bulldogs, and as much as Indiana may be upset that they're not getting much off of their set pieces in tonight's match at least, I feel like it's been more of the Butler defense really being ready for those opportunities.
Jensen Miller. Up ahead to Sarver. Same 11 on the pitch for Indiana that started the match.
Yeah, we'll see if they'll get some more substitutions. You would expect so. Still waiting to see if we'll see Hugo Bacharach today, or if he will still sit out.
Alex Barger takes a tumble.
Foul on Butler.
Foul called on the Bulldogs, the 8th of the day. That one on Ernie Osornio.
Indiana getting a throw in.
Beg your pardon about the 11 on the pitch. Mahalik is in there for Goombali. It's the freshman to throw in. By that little 500 track. Into the box, Mayer heads it out to Sarver. Sarver another cross inside. Beebe gets it to Collins Oduro. And Indiana to reset. Zion just about 4 minutes into this second half. Indiana's had much of the possession. Here's Oduro again, the cross, and a good defensive play by Osornio to get it out of Becerra and Mahalik's reach.
Sometimes when you're streaking down those wings the way Oduro does, an issue can be that you're as fast as him. An issue can be that no one is quick enough on your team to really join you for a real opportunity. That's what happened that time. Nobody in Indiana was in the vicinity, but they still get a corner out of it.
Sarver high, arcing kick. Batted around. And Butler has some numbers here. Schreberger decides to slow it down. Hanush, the intended target of that pass. Becerra comes up with it. Here's that combination of Oduro and Sarver.
See if Butler looks to attack. It looked like they had a good counterattack opportunity just a moment ago, but Schreberger kind of held it up. At some point, Butler is going to need to really lay it on Indiana to try to even this game.
I mean, Nasser was in there as well. Good play by Miller to take it off the feet of Alt. Butler hasn't had much control in the attacking third. Osornio. Josh Stewart. A shot attempt from Osornio. Here's Hanush, the cross, and knocked out a play by Barger, but some claps on the Butler bench. First corner of the day for the Bulldogs.
Here we go, big opportunity for Butler. They finally, like you said, control it in the attacking third. They had gotten a few shots up, but they weren't really necessarily opportunities where they had multiple passes leading to it. That time they get to control it. They're gonna get a corner chance here.
Jan Quispool, the corner kick in. And Jack Wagoner stabs that one out for another corner.
So now back-to-back chances here for the Bulldogs. This time in the opposite corner.
Osornio, they're gonna give this one a go. Lofts one in, Mayer lifts it into the air. That overarching header attempt from Ryan Hanush, the freshman.
Yeah, just climb the ladder on the back of Sam Sarver. Clear foul.
And Paul Snape, head coach of these Bulldogs, frustrated, threw the piece of paper in his hand to the ground as the 8th foul on Butler.
Been a frustrating night so far for the Bulldogs. Just not had much hope to even score.
It's really just been that kind of a season. This Butler team just picked up their first win of the fall on Friday at Villanova. And obviously, they start 1-0 in Big East play. Butler allowing 1.4 goals a game and only averaging 0.8 per contest. They had a bad loss to SIU E1-3, and then they faced Ohio State a few weeks ago as well, and the Buckeyes took down the Bulldogs 1-0. These lanes not opening up for Butler right now.
Now Indiana has decent numbers too.
Becerra, 2 freshmen on the wing. It's Oduro fitting it through to Mahalik, who lets it go to Sarver. Sarver to his teammate Mahalik, and nothing going. Todd Yeagley in his 14th season with Indiana. Obviously the 2012 College Cup win. Multiple College Cup appearances at Indiana. He was a 4-time All-American from 1990 to 1994 under his father, Jerry Yeagley, who many presumed to be the GOAT of college men's soccer coaching.
Yeah, of course, this field is named after Jerry Yeagley. Both he and his son have had excellent coaching careers in Bloomington.
Yeagley's teams in recent years have really struggled with this non-conference early season slate. Indiana coming in today, record of 2-2-2. They were ranked in the top 5 nationally to start the fall, and since then have fallen unranked, suffered a tough loss to Washington in a close match a few weeks ago, but really it was the loss 2 Fridays ago at South Florida, and then the draw to Wisconsin, which was a pair of head scratchers.
And this is something, you know, you see a lot in all sports. Indiana, a pretty good, but not necessarily a great team last year, make a run, and then get ranked highly in the preseason, but not necessarily live up to those expectations. And the Hoosiers, they would tell you, especially Coach Yeagley, that they have not lived up to those top 5 expectations through 6 matches this season.
Osornio tried to get that one through to Alt, couldn't do it. Expectations, I mean, in many schools you go to 3 College Cups in 5 years, and 2 of those are national title appearances that come down to the wire. I think that's success for a lot of programs, but Indiana, you gotta win the whole thing.
It's an awkward fall that time.
Yeah, Barger with the high leg kick trying to keep that one in play. I think Butler has done a better job in the midfield controlling the ball this half. And Chris Poole. Strieberger. Here's Alt, knocked away by Mayer. Gets another touch. Osornio. A cross in and headed away by Brett Beebe.
Just can't say enough about this Indiana defense. Not even really letting Butler get true shot attempts.
Yeah, those volleys have been cleared immediately by the Hoosiers back line. Said it earlier on the broadcast, but this Indiana back line has been talented for a year. Daniel Mooney, of course, left the program to the MLS after a solid senior season, was a Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year in his time at Indiana.
Yeah, Mooney was just an excellent defender. You stand next to him, you see why. He's just huge, was a really strong guy. He was about 6'2". You could just tell he had the physical tools to be a phenomenal defender and was rewarded by being drafted into the MLS.
Indiana's given up just 3 goals in over 6.5 matches now into this match. Good for 6th nationally. We've not seen the Mac Herman watch list under Hugo Bacharach here tonight, so even potential for that scary defense to get better and bigger.
It's not an injury, not even necessarily a disciplinary issue going on with Bacharach. We've been told that it is more just a coach's decision trying to get him truly conditioned.
Looks like we're going to have a card here. We will. Josh Stewart gets a card, and Oduro down on the ground in some pain.
Let's take a look. Tough to see that angle, what all happened, but Oduro grabbing on that right foot ankle area.
Looks like Oduro is okay, able to get up under his own power. It's going to be a free kick for Indiana. He'll stay in the game.
Yeah, that foul going against Josh Stewart that time.
It's actually on Osornio. That free kick opportunity not there for Indiana, but here's Pizarro in the box. You know he's got a strong right leg, but it's ricocheted.
Indiana shot taken by number 15, Luca Pizarro.
Did that go?
Went off a Butler defender, so it's going to be a corner kick for Indiana.
So for a moment, I thought it might have gone off Mahalik, who was just laying in the middle of the box. But it did go off of Butler.
8th shot of the day for Indiana there on that attempt. Sarver's been the corner taker for Indiana. A chance to volley one in. High arcing Mahalik. Able to get a piece of it, but it's not going anywhere, just into the hands of Norris. And a misplayed ball on the other end. A lot of subs coming in for the Bulldogs here. It's Goombali, the one for the Hoosiers.
Substitutions for Butler coming in is number 7.
Henry Kamwenda, the junior from England. Nick Okoro, the junior from England, in for Butler.
Number 22.
DJ Hooks as well in there.
Also in for the Bulldogs is number 4, Graham Reed.
For the first time today, Zion, we're seeing Paul Snape enter some fresh legs into the match.
Yeah, big mass sub pattern here for Paul Snape. We'll see if that can lead it to anything for Butler.
Number 14, Ryan Panache.
Well, Butler's got an interesting way of keeping their players in check team-wise, and here's Talia Goodman downfield side for more on that.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, when I was talking to Butler's Coach Snape and Palmer Alt, I learned about a pretty interesting system that they have set up to hold their players accountable. It's fully run by the athletes themselves, so no coach involvement, and it basically serves as a court system. So, for example, if a player forgets to fill out one of their daily surveys, they're fined $1. But if a player misses a training session, that can reach up to $50 in fines. After a fine's given to a player, here's the fun part. They have the option of hiring a lawyer, which is one of their teammates, to try to appeal it. Midfielder Nick Graziano tends to serve as a defense attorney, but if they don't win the appeal, the fine gets doubled. And at the end of the season, all the fine money gets put towards a fun team activity that they'll all participate in. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Good stuff, Talia. I've never really heard of any program in all of college sports doing something like that, and I think it's a good way to not only build team chemistry, but like Talia said, hold your fellow teammates accountable for when they don't show up to things, especially, training and practices.
and Paul Stay said that was completely player-led. He has nothing to do with that. He did not lead that or start that at Butler.
Here's Sarver in the box. Had some contact, no whistle.
I would love to be a fly on the wall during one of their court meetings with the lawyers and the defense, seeing who can really argue their way out of those fines.
You'd think you'd want to pick somebody who has your back, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you messed up, the whole point is to hold each other accountable. A lot of different ways teams can gel together. I always think of, on the more football side of things, you know, when Miami started doing it, you know, the turnover chain, and Indiana, of course, has the turnover belt now from the McMahon family. Ways to get guys and excited, you know, about things that might not be as glamorous in their sports.
Right, and it's a good way to lighten the mood when something, when a player maybe isn't doing what he needs to be doing, but you don't want it to be intense when you talk to him about it.
Here's DJ Hooks, who just checked in. Kamwenda can't get it through. Kamwenda to Hooks, and Mayer boots it away.
Look back at this. Butler had a decent look, but it was knocked away as Alt was kind of streaking in for a potential chance.
And then another there as well. That was Kamwenda again. That a shot on goal, and JT Harms is able to glove it. First save of the day for Harms, who
Butler was by number 17.
had a career day last Friday,
actually
2 Fridays ago against South Florida down in Tampa. He had 7 saves, a career high. Man on the ground is Brett Beebe for Indiana, and the training staff gonna have to come out. Brett Beebe, redshirt senior, standing at 6 feet tall. He's a physical defender.
Yeah, Todd Yeagley sees BB as at least sort of a Swiss Army knife for this Indiana team. Last year he had a goal, or a couple years ago he had a goal and 2 assists. Last year he had 3 goals and an assist for this Indiana team. That's coming out of somebody who is mainly a defenseman. He is down in pain. You see them stretching him out.
Might be something like a cramp for BB. He's played the whole match so far. Looks like Carson Henderlong is in the sub box and may check in if needed. 26:51 to play in the second half. Indiana leads 1-0. It was a 9th-minute goal from Sam Sarver, assisted by Collins Oduro, his first assist of the year. And Indiana was really aggressive early. BB able to walk off on his own power, although a little bit hobbled. Boy, it gets quiet in here when somebody goes down, doesn't it?
It sure does. All the attention kind of has gone to Brett Beebe and him walking off, but hopefully it's nothing major for the senior.
Hoosier Army still showing out and supporting their school soccer club. All right, so Beebe will come off. And it looks like it will be Henderlong coming into the match for Indiana. Because of the injury to Beebe.
A substitution for the Hoosiers coming on.
A defensive sub.
3.
Joel Demian, freshman.
Demian replaces number 19, Brett Beebe.
At his debut 2 Fridays ago at South Florida. So Demian, the defender from British Columbia, Canada. Enderlong will stay in the sub box.
Now we have to see if this affects the overall just communication that has been so fluid for Indiana defensively so far today. If Beebe's absence is going to play a role, and maybe Butler has some more quality opportunities with him now on the sideline.
Yeah, so now Carson Enderlong checks in.
Entering is number 7, Carson Enderlong, replacing number 15, Luca Becerra.
And Becerra is out for IU. Throw in for Demian in front of his own bench. Well, since Kamwenda came into the game, Zion, he's been really active. The fresh legs paying off. Palmer Alt, of course, still up there up top. Nick Okoro on the wing on the opposite side.
You're right about Kamwenda. He has kind of shook up this game a bit, has given Butler at least a few looks that they did not have really at all in the first half.
Best chance of the day for Butler. A fake kick from Van Quispool. Here's Alt using his left foot, and Patrick McDonald says, not in my house.
It was a really good job by Patrick McDonald. It looked like Alt was about to try to get loose, but not able to do so.
Yeah, he was double teamed there. Gumbali was able to strip it away. Through ball doesn't connect from Stewart to DJ Hooks. DJ Hooks on the right wing right now for the Bulldogs. Redshirt senior, he was on the Big East All-Tournament team a season ago.
I have to be curious if Indiana is going to get back in that attack aggressive mode, or if they're going to try to play it safe the rest of the way.
Well, here we go. We might just find out. McDonald to Gumbali. Gumbali, the cross in. Henderlong just misses with the header.
That was a beautiful break opportunity for the Hoosiers. A counterattack off of Butler, being a bit careless with the ball, and it looked like Henderlong was going to be able to get that in, but the header just sails a bit wide.
Yeah, wide left from Henderlong. Good stuff by Gumbali. That ball placed really well. Henderlong transferred from Xavier before last season. He was voted the 38th best player in the country coming into that year. And this season, no goals yet. He's got an assist, 10 shots.
And coming from Xavier, he is used to playing this Butler team in Big East play.
And Jansen Miller on the back line of defense for the Hoosiers, another Musketeer. A former Musketeer, I should say. Henderlong does give Indiana some more size as well up front, and you know Todd Yeagley likes that. Indiana against their opponents from the home state, the Hoosier State, 86% win percentage. It's been dominated by Indiana over the course of college. Soccer flag flies, 4 offsides on that chance.
Of course, they pretty much play Butler and Notre Dame yearly. They've also scheduled D3 Trine a lot as of late, so.
Evansville in there sometimes.
Yeah, true, so they try to stay in state, which is always good just to match up against players if you're from Indiana, maybe you may know, or just in general, teams that are close to you.
That ball taken to the corner and kicked out of play by Alejandro Moroso Mata.
Jack Wagner comes out of the game. Haven't said his name a lot, but he's been really solid.
I want to see if this Indiana team does anything now with the ball in the attacking third.
Sarver an opportunity and offside. Justin Schreffler, freshman midfielder, just came into the game. Jan Quispool, a tackle, no whistle. Henderlong controls it, now way up ahead to Sarver. And he can't get to it. It was Schreffler who went down with that tackle.
And just a bit too overambitious on the pass from Henderlong, who had Sarver if maybe there was a chance, but because of how much power he put into it, just going to be a goal kick.
Well, Mahalik comes out in the 70th minute. Butler's next four. A lot of Big East play. Marquette, a really solid team up in Milwaukee, Georgetown, Creighton, and IUPUI. This is a Butler squad that it is still earlier in the season, but it's time to start finding some wins. Just one so far.
There's a lot of newcomers here for Butler. Obviously, we've talked about it time and time again today. There's so much pressure and so much of the expectation and attention put on to Palmer Alt that this Bulldogs team need to find somebody else who can put it in the net.
DJ Hooks gets a corner.
Corner kick, Butler.
At the third of the game for the Bulldogs. Kamwenda almost got ahead on that one. And that just an overarching shot over the net.
Goal kick.
Indiana tends to be entering some drift right now, and in the point of the game, 70+ minutes in, where Hoosiers would be happy with a 1-0 finish.
Absolutely, for a team that hadn't scored in these last two matches. Just the score was a good thing for the Hoosiers, but I think they want to get maybe an insurance goal.
Well, here's Oduro. He's been best on the wing inside. Gumbali from the 18. Strong right foot is booted away. It'll still be Indiana with a throw.
After that one hiccup that Butler had to give up the Sarver goal, I feel like their back line has been pretty strong as far as communication and not letting anything crazy get behind them. Maybe that one chance that Henderlong had at the header was it.
Yeah, that was Visser who was able to knock that one away. Barger to Sarver. Off his chest.
There's a shot by Indiana, number 9.
Shot attempted, but a high kick.
Blocked by the Bulldogs.
And a handball as well. Indiana moves into the onslaught. Back-to-back Big Ten opponents on Friday. They go up to East Lansing and face Michigan State. Then they face Michigan at home. That game going to be on Big Ten Network. And then a tall task, Kentucky, nationally ranked to start the season. They're on the road in Lexington.
Last year when Indiana and Kentucky faced off, I think both teams are ranked. Now both teams have kind of struggled with this year. Kentucky also, like you mentioned, has fallen out of the rankings the same way Indiana has from the preseason.
At one point, Kentucky in the top 5, but like you said, have fallen, and still no shortage of talent on that roster in the SEC, a team that beat Indiana 3-0 here at Bill Armstrong a season ago. Sarver all alone. He's been active as ever in this match. Henderlong lets it go, and off the post. Oduro had a great chance.
Wow. That is a tough shot to even get that close.
Sarver, McDonald, left foot blocked. Once again, Indiana struggling to buy a goal. Same thing that's haunted them all season long. Just the one, obviously, today. Going to be happy if they ended in a win if you're Todd Yeagley. But man, this was close.
My goodness, to be running full speed like Oduro was, and to just zoom in, speed in a somewhat accurate shot, just a bit right. As you see the 5 shots on goal advantage for the Hoosiers, but to even get that off that right post was a special attempt, but I know Oduro is going to be wishy later tonight that he had got that one just a little bit more to the left for a goal.
How talented is he? Schreffler to Miller. Joel Demian. How about Henderlong too, letting that ball go.
Foul on Indiana.
Whistle from head referee Elogio. Villalpando, foul on the Hoosiers, second of the day for Indiana.
Tommy Visser went down slightly for Butler, but he looks to be all right. Time is ticking for sure for this Bulldogs team, and you just have to wonder if they have enough to even threaten Indiana at this point outside of Palmer Alt. We have talked about Kumwinda a couple times, though. He has been able to give Butler a few decent opportunities since coming in the game in the second half.
Kumwinda does have an assist on the year.
Fellow England native with Coach Snape. Kumwinda from Leeds.
Yeah, Nick Okoro from Birmingham. Kumwinda did play in 17 matches last season, had 5 shots on goal.
I think Indiana, after that last Oduro attempt, I think from here on out they might try to be fairly safe. Not to say that they won't try if they have the right opportunity.
Yeah, number 3 for Butler, Vigo Vakoyan, has done a really good job in the second half on that back line. Gumbali, an attempt. It's going to lead to an Indiana corner. Well, Todd Yeagley wanted to see some more aggressive Hoosiers. He's gotten that.
Absolutely, this team, 3 more shots than they had on Friday. They're still 13 minutes and change to get more shots up, and this corner might be one of those opportunities. Now 14 actually, 14 shots today for Indiana.
Sarver checks out. He's played a heck of a game. Going to take a seat on the bench for the time being. Helmer, the left foot. And Jensen Miller had a chance. Schreffler, the freshman, pushes it out of play. Going forward, Zion, and heading back into Big Ten play for Indiana. They obviously got the point against Wisconsin. They don't want to wait too long. Teams like Maryland and Rutgers was tricky last year in the conference.
Yeah, that's a Rutgers squad that is really giving Indiana some issues the last couple of years.
It just goes for Rutgers in any sport against the Hoosiers.
Pretty much.
Especially in Piscataway. Although women's soccer on Sunday took down the Rutgers Scarlet Knights here at Bill Armstrong Stadium.
And I was here 2 years ago when Rutgers broke a long winning streak Indiana had here at Bill Armstrong Stadium. That was an Indiana team that came off the loss in the spring in the College Cup final, came right back in the fall and struggled a lot early in that season.
DJ Hooks.
Foul, Butler.
Fouls Joel Demian. Well, in terms of the women's soccer side led by Erwin Van Bennekom, Indiana 7-0-2 start to the year. Really good stuff.
Paige Weber has been a phenom on the women's side for IU.
11 goals in 9 games, 2 assists. How about Anna Bennett, though? 7 assists. That's, at this point of the year, just almost unheard of.
It's been a complete 180 from what the IU women's team was a season ago, a team that rarely ever found the back of the net.
And of course, the keeper, Jamie Gerstenberg, know how good she can be in net. "14 shots for Indiana to Butler's 5 in this one. Opportunities dwindling for the Bulldogs.
Not that there's been much to even start with for Butler, but now time is even more of a factor than it has been for sure.
Here's Hanush. Rosomatha. Back to Vigo Vakoyan. Barger loses that battle. A shot to the right of Harms. It was deflected by Indiana.
The shot taken by number 2, Jack Streberger.
Maybe not. I thought it might have been too, but
Streberger may have just gotten a bad piece of it.
yeah, definitely took a awkward kind of out-swinging trajectory. No touch by Indiana, the official say, but Butler regained it quickly regardless.
Hanush to Tommy Visser. That through ball. Hanush lets it go. Kamwenda and all up front setting up. Here's all. Left foot to Kamwenda, off the ricochet, and Harms is able to corral.
Defended well again by Indiana. That time it was Joel Demian, the sub, who came in for Brett Beebe. Right there with Kamwenda to really block any legit angle he had to get a shot up.
Harms wanted Kamwenda to give him some more space. Gumbali falls. And a breakaway opportunity for Butler. It's intercepted, though, by Demian.
You see him kind of put his hand up like, let's slow it up here. It just takes some valuable time off this clock.
Yeah, Butler has had a few good counterattack opportunities. Here's Oduro. Crossfield. Barker, the freshman, working inside. A shot and a save by Norris, is able to deflect it for a corner. Oh my
shot
goodness.
was taken by number
What a
13,
bold attempt by
Alex
Barker,
Barker.
about 30
Save made
yards
by
out.
Caleb Norris.
And Norris
Substitution
had
for
to
Indiana.
fully extend
Coming on is number
to
9,
get that
Samuel
one
Sarver.
out of harm's way.
Number 12, Quinton Helmer.
Helmer comes out, Sarver back in, and just in time
Samuel Sarver.
for the 7th corner kick of the day. Sarver picked up his 2nd goal on the season in the 9th minute. Well, point of emphasis, Zion, was for Todd Yangley and this Indiana coaching staff that he wanted more shots on frame. That way, it can lead to rebound opportunities. Have to think that that's been accomplished today. Definitely more chances, but once again, a game that you could very easily say should be 2-0, maybe even 3-0.
For sure, Yeagley was disappointed in the shot selection of this Indiana team. I think tonight has been a better night for the Hoosiers on that front. Feels like there's been a lot of ill-advised shots that have led to Indiana's offensive woes. If they can hold on here in this last 5.5 minutes, they'll be back in the win column, back above 500.
5 and change for the Bulldogs and Paul Snape. Stewart, the defender, ranging to Hooks. Kamwenda is there. Kamwenda, way too far overall. And Gumbali wisely lets it trickle out of play.
You can hear Paul Snape from where we're at yell, "We've got 5 minutes left." He wants his Butler team to now probably be its most aggressive that it's been tonight on both ends.
I think Butler has slowly gotten into this game, and that's just a bad touch. They've slowly kind of gotten a little bit more comfortable. That early goal from Indiana, that's all it really needs to be for the Hoosiers right now.
And that's part of the issue that Snape talked about at halftime. So you can't respect them too much, and that's what Butler might have done in the first.
Here's Hooks off the back of his foot. And Jack Wagner takes it away. Now Butler's trying to show some initiative and aggression. Rosso Matha to Streberger. Now Hanush, a through ball cleared by Miller, and back to the keeper in Norris. Here's Hooks. Is he offsides? No whistle, but he boots it over the crossbar. Hooks was onside, and JT Harms let his back line hear about it. That was the best opportunity Butler's had all day.
Yeah, if you're Butler, DJ Hooks, you got to try to control that much better than he was able to do, because it was well off the mark on a good chance. Every time he gets a touch, just
at least 2 Hoosiers just come swarming in. Not able to keep control of it there. Butler does retain possession.
And Alda had 6 assists last year, but I think the next evolution of his game is really knowing how to take advantage of the attention and just the overall gravity toward him. And not all of it has been his fault. His teammates have definitely struggled to score, as it's a factual statement considering nobody else has scored for Butler this year. But I definitely think to take the next step, Alt can really improve and become also as great of a passer as he is a scorer right now.
2 minutes to play. Like that was a Sorno or Alt who fell to the ground. No whistle. Snape wanted one. Oduro on the ground after a collision. And Eulogio Villalpaldo is going to give a yellow card. It's the second on the Bulldogs, kind of just ill-intended there. Oduro gets up okay.
It's a very late look at things.
It was Alejandro Moroso Mata, the junior from Spain.
We saw Sorno get one of those yellows earlier today. Kind of the second big collision that Oduro has been a part of in this match. Now things getting a little physical.
Yeah, you can tell Indiana just wants to waste time, take it to the corner, but Butler trying to push things with 1 minute remaining. Sarver intercepts this pass from Norris, the keeper. Has a chance to pad the Hoosiers' lead. Oduro, a rough touch, too far off his foot. And Gumbali wisely just going to take it to the flag.
It was a funny moment. I feel like Sarver, he intercepted that pass, like you said.
He was like, I want to score.
And he was almost surprised with how much space he had. He started stumbling a little bit, just kind of tripping over his own feet. Just had to pass it away.
Oduro maneuvering through the box. The chance, Mahalik, and it's blocked. It'll be an Indiana corner, but man, look at Oduro on the ground. Mahalik just has struggled to buy a goal this season. It was a good defensive play by the freshman Josh Stewart.
And at this point, this is all academic, but Indiana does want to get another goal up, but at this point, looks like they'll be satisfied holding in the corner.
Well, Gumbali wins that ball, but it won't even matter. Indiana 1, Butler 0. It was a 9th minute goal from Sam Sarver, assisted by Collins Oduro, and it's the 7th straight win against Butler at Bill Armstrong. The streak of it being 2010 since the last time the Bulldogs have beaten Indiana here in Bloomington remains. And the series, Indiana has just dominated.